Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you will change your life if you have the guts to apply it. Most people walk around talking to themselves like losers. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? That's the kind of garbage running through their heads 24/7, and then they wonder why their lives are a mess. But not you. Not anymore. For the next 3 days, you're going to talk to yourself like a damn champion. For 3 days. Yours 3. You are going to be the most confident, relentless, unstoppable version of yourself. You will tell yourself, I am powerful. I am in control. I win, no matter what. And if your weak, pathetic old mindset tries to creep back in, you will crush it. You will override it. Because the voice inside your head, that's either your greatest ally or your deadliest enemy. You see, most people lose before they even begin because they sabotage themselves with their own words. But not you. You're going to wake up and say, today I dominate. You're going to look in the mirror and say, I'm the best at what I do. You're going to step into every situation with certainty because you've already decided in your mind that you cannot be stopped. And guess what happens when you start speaking like that? You start acting like that. You start acting like that. Excuses, gone. Fear, crushed. That little voice that says, what if I fail? Buried 6 feet under where it belongs. Because for the next 3 days, you will allow nothing but power, success, and dominance to come out of your mouth. And when you do that, something amazing happens. Your brain starts believing it. Your body starts acting on it. And suddenly, you're moving with a level of confidence and purpose you've never felt before. 3 days. That's all I'm asking. 3 days to prove to yourself that you are not weak. Not average, not like everybody else who settles for mediocrity. 3 days of speaking to yourself like the high-performance machine you were born to be. And when you see the difference it makes, when you feel that power, you'll never go back. Because after 3 days, you won't recognize the person you used to be. So the question is simple. Do you control your mind, or does your mind control you? If you want success, if you want dominance, if you want a life that most people only dream about, then talk to yourself like a champion, starting now. For 3 days, you go all in. No doubts, no hesitation, no weakness. And when those 3 days are over, you'll never speak to yourself the same way again, because you'll finally understand what it means to be in control of your destiny. Now get out there and prove it. The power of self-talk, most people have no idea that the most important conversation they will ever have is the one they have with themselves. Every single day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, there's a voice inside your head. And that voice, it's either building you up or tearing you down. It's either pushing you toward greatness or chaining you to mediocrity. And here's the brutal truth. Most people are their own worst enemy. Not because of what the world tells them, but because of what they tell themselves. Think about it. How do you talk to yourself when things get tough? When you wake up late, when you fail at something, when you face rejection? What's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? I knew this would happen. I'm not good enough. Maybe this just isn't for me. Yeah, that's the weak, self-defeating nonsense that keeps people stuck in the same place year after year. And it's no accident. Your brain is wired to protect you, to keep you comfortable, to keep you exactly where you are. But comfort is the killer of success. Every high performer, every champion, every successful person you admire, they mastered the art of self-talk. They trained their mind to reject weakness, to eliminate excuses, and to speak in a way that propels them forward no matter what. And if you want to get to that level, if you want to dominate in your field, in your business, in your life, then you must take control of that voice in your head, starting now. Because here's the truth. The words you say to yourself create the reality you live in. Say you're weak, and you'll act weak. Say you're not good enough, and you'll never be good enough. But say you are powerful, and suddenly you start standing taller. Say you're unstoppable, and suddenly nothing seems impossible. The words you feed your mind become the foundation of your actions, and your actions create your results. This isn't just motivational talk. It's science. Your brain is a machine that follows commands. It doesn't care whether what you say is true or false. It just executes. Tell yourself you're a failure, and your brain will look for ways to confirm it. But tell yourself you're a champion, that you're relentless, that you will win no matter what, and your brain will start making that a reality. Now, most people hear this and think, okay, so I'll just say a few positive affirmations and my life will change? No, it's not about throwing out a few weak, half-hearted phrases in the morning. It's about rewiring your entire internal dialogue. It's about killing the self-doubt and replacing it with an unshakable belief in your own power. So here's the challenge. For the next 3 days, every time that negative voice tries to creep in, you crush it. You don't allow yourself to entertain a single weak thought. Instead, you replace it with strength. You tell yourself, I am in control. I am powerful. I get things done no matter what. I refuse to let fear dictate my actions. I dominate my environment. Because when you do this, when you take control of your self-talk, you take control of your life. You start acting differently. You start moving with confidence. People notice. Opportunities open up. And suddenly, you're not just thinking like a winner. You are a winner. So ask yourself, how have you been speaking to yourself? Have you been programming your mind for success or for failure? Because every single word matters. And from this moment forward, you don't get to talk to yourself like a loser anymore. You speak like a champion. You think like a champion. And when you do that, you start winning like one. 3 days of unbreakable focus, 3 days. That's all it takes to start shifting your mindset, your results, and your entire life. Most people go their whole existence never realizing how much control they have over their destiny. They walk around, reacting to life, waiting for something to change, waiting for motivation, waiting for permission. And guess what? Those people stay stuck, but not you. Because for the next 3 days, you're going to take complete control over your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You are going to talk to yourself like a winner, think like a winner, and operate like a winner. Now, let me be clear. This is not some soft feel-good challenge. This is war. War against your old habits, your old excuses, your old limitations. If you do this right, these 3 days will be the hardest mental shift you've ever made. Because for the first time in your life, you will not allow even a single moment of weakness to exist in your mind. For 3 days, you'll be hyper aware of every single thought you think and every single word you say to yourself. The second you catch yourself complaining, doubting, hesitating, or making excuses, you will shut it down immediately. Not in 5 minutes, not after you think about it. Immediately. You will crush every negative thought before it takes root. Because if you let even one weak thought slide, you've already lost. You see, most people don't even realize how much garbage they feed their minds every single day. I'm too tired. I'm not smart enough. This is too hard. What if I fail? That kind of weak talk is the reason they never achieve anything significant. But for the next 3 days, that ends. You don't get to speak like that anymore. From now on, the only words that come out of your mouth, whether spoken out loud or in your mind, are words of power, discipline, and success. Here's what's going to happen when you do this. Day 1 will be hard. You will catch yourself thinking like the old version of you. And every time that happens, you will correct it immediately. You will replace every doubt with certainty. You will replace every complaint with action. You will force yourself to think, move, and speak like the high performer you were meant to be. Day 2 will feel like a battle. Your old habits will fight back. Your old mindset will try to creep in and convince you that you're being too hard on yourself. Ignore it. That's weakness trying to survive. And you are here to kill weakness. By day 3, something amazing happens. Your mind starts adapting. It starts accepting this new, stronger way of thinking as your new normal. You wake up feeling different. You carry yourself differently. You attack your goals with more intensity. Why? Because your brain is starting to believe the new identity you've been feeding it. You're no longer playing defense against your own thoughts. You're now in full control. Now imagine what happens when you extend this beyond 3 days. Imagine what happens when you keep this level of focus for a week, a month, a year. That's how you separate yourself from the masses. That's how you go from average to unstoppable. But for now, focus on these 3 days. Give it everything you've got. Because if you can master your mind for 3 days, you can do it for a lifetime. Eliminating weakness from your vocabulary words have power. They shape your reality, dictate your actions, and ultimately determine your success or failure. Most people have no idea how much damage they do to themselves every single day with the way they speak, both out loud and in their own minds. They use words that weaken them, words that create doubt, hesitation, and fear. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, unmotivated, and unable to break through. Let me tell you something. If you want to achieve anything extraordinary in life, you must eliminate weak language from your vocabulary. Not reduce it, not soften it, eliminate it completely. Because every time you say something like, I can't, I'm not sure, I hope, maybe, or I'll try, you are programming your mind to accept failure before you even start. And that kind of thinking has no place in the mind of a champion. Weak people talk about problems. Winners talk about solutions. Weak people say, I don't know if I can do this. Winners say, I will find a way no matter what. Weak people say, I'm too tired. Winners say, I keep going until the job is done. The difference is night and day. And it's not just some motivational gimmick. It's a complete rewiring of how you approach every challenge in your life. For the next 3 days, you will be absolutely ruthless about the words you use. You will become hyper aware of every phrase that comes out of your mouth and every thought that crosses your mind. The moment you catch yourself speaking from a place of weakness, you will cut it off and replace it with strength. Let me give you an example. Say you're working on a difficult project and your mind starts saying, this is too hard. Stop. Immediately shut it down. Instead, say, I am fully capable. I thrive under pressure. I'll figure this out. Or maybe you're trying to build a new habit and you hear yourself thinking, I'm not disciplined enough. Wrong. The correct response is, I am disciplined. I am disciplined. I do what needs to be done no matter what. Do you see the difference? It's not about ignoring reality. It's about shifting your identity. Because your brain believes what you tell it. The more you speak like a winner, the more you start acting like one. And here's the real test. If you're serious about eliminating weakness from your vocabulary, you need to hold yourself accountable. That means no exceptions, no slip-ups, no allowing a just 1A moment of self-doubt to creep in. You need to attack weak language like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Think about every great leader, every high performer, every unstoppable force you've ever admired. Do you think they sit around saying, I hope things work out? No. They declare their success. They decide what they want and move toward it with absolute certainty. That's the level of mindset you need to develop if you want to dominate in any area of life. So for the next 3 days, I want you to be relentless. Every word you say, every thought you think, make sure it reinforces your strength, your power, your ability to win. Because once you remove weakness from your vocabulary, you remove it from your life. And that's when you become truly unstoppable. By speaking your success into existence, your words are not just sounds coming out of your mouth. They are commands, orders that your brain takes and executes without question. Every single word you say programs your mind for success or failure, strength or weakness, action or hesitation. And the brutal truth is that most people are speaking their own downfall into existence every single day without even realizing it. Think about it. How often do you hear people say things like, I'm just unlucky, I never get opportunities, I always screw things up, or I always screw things up, or I'll never be rich? These aren't just empty statements. These are self-imposed curses. Because when you say something often enough, your brain starts to believe it. And when your brain believes it, it starts shaping your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your results. But here's the good news. This works both ways. Just as people destroy themselves with negative speech, you can build yourself into an unstoppable force with the right words. If you start speaking success, confidence, and power into existence, your brain will begin to align with that reality. Your actions will follow, and soon enough, your entire life will start shifting. Let me make this simple. If you want to win in life, you must start speaking like a winner. You must speak your success into existence before it even happens. You must declare victory before you've won the battle. This isn't about wishful thinking or hoping for the best. This is about conditioning your mind to expect success, demand success, and refuse to settle for anything less. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to completely transform the way you speak to yourself. Every time you open your mouth, the words that come out must be words of power. No more saying, I hope this works. Instead, say, this will work because I will make it work. No more saying, I'm not sure if I can do this. Instead, say, I am more than capable and I get things done. No more saying, I don't know if I'll succeed. Instead, say, success is inevitable because I do what it takes. Here's what will happen when you do this. You know what will happen when you do this? At first, it might feel unnatural. That's because you've spent years, maybe even decades, talking to yourself the wrong way. But if you stick with it, if you commit to speaking like a champion for 3 straight days, you'll start to notice something. You'll feel more confident. You'll stand a little taller. You'll take action without hesitation. And most importantly, you'll begin to see real changes in your results. Because when you expect success, you act accordingly. You move differently. You take bold steps. You stop second-guessing yourself, and people notice. Opportunities start to appear. You attract success because you've wired your brain to expect nothing less. Some people might hear this and think, it can't be that simple. But those people are the ones who will stay stuck. Because the truth is, every high performer, every leader, every dominant force in history understood this principle. You must declare your success before the world sees it. You must believe it before you achieve it. So for the next 3 days, be ruthless with your words. Speak only power. Speak only certainty. Speak only the reality you want to create. Because once you start speaking your success into existence, only a matter of time before you start living it. Results or regrets, your choice. At the end of the day, life boils down to a simple equation. Results or regrets. You either have what you set out to achieve, or you have a list of excuses for why you didn't make it happen. There is no in-between. There is no middle ground. And the brutal truth? Most people will go to their graves with more regrets than results. Not because they weren't capable, but because they let their own weak mindset control them. But you are not like most people. You wouldn't be here if you were. You wouldn't be here if you were. You're here because there's a fire inside of you, a hunger to push beyond limits, to rise above mediocrity, to build a life that others only dream about. Here's the hard truth. That will never happen if you don't learn how to control your mind. You either run your mind, or your mind runs you. It's that simple. Most people are slaves to their own thoughts, controlled by fear, doubt, and hesitation. They wake up every morning listening to the same self-defeating voice telling them they're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. And then they wonder why they stay stuck year after year, watching other people succeed while they stay in the same place. But for the last few days, you've been given a different strategy. You've been shown how to take control of your self-talk, how to eliminate weakness from your vocabulary, how to speak success into existence. And now the only question left is this. Are you going to keep doing it? Or are you going to go back to the same old habits that have held you back for years? This is the moment where most people fail. They start strong. They feel the power of speaking like a champion. They see the shift in their mindset, but then they slip. They allow one little moment of doubt to creep in. One excuse, one hesitation. And just like that, they fall back into the same cycle of mediocrity. But you have a choice. You can either commit to this new standard of thinking for the rest of your life, or you can walk away and pretend like you never heard this message. You can live with results, or you can live with regrets. Let me be clear. This is not just about the next 3 days. This is about every single day for the rest of your life. This is about making a decision right now that you will never again allow weakness to control you. That from this moment forward, you will think, speak, and act like the high-performance machine you were meant to be. There will be moments where you feel tired, where you feel challenged, where your old mindset tries to creep back in. In those moments, you have a choice. Do you give in, or do you push forward? Do you let fear dictate your actions, or do you crush it under your feet and move forward with absolute certainty? The winners of this world, the ones who build empires, the ones who create legendary legacies, they are not the smartest, not the most talented, not the luckiest. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit on themselves. They are the ones who made a decision to control their minds, to eliminate weakness, to demand results instead of settling for regrets. So I'll ask you one final time. Results or regrets, the choice is yours. But if you've come this far, if you put in the effort for these last few days, then you already know the answer. You are done with regret. You are done with excuses. From this moment forward, you are all in. Because when you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. And when you take control of your life, there is nothing that can stop you. Now, you have the blueprint, you have the strategy. You have the mindset shift that can take you from where you are to where you want to be. The only thing left is action. For the last few days, you've seen what happens when you control your self-talk, when you eliminate weakness from your vocabulary, when you speak success into existence. You've felt the difference. You've seen the shift in your focus, your confidence, your drive. Now the challenge is to keep it going, not for 3 days, not for a week, but for life. Because this is not a game. This is not a phase. This is not something you do when it's convenient. This is who you become. This is how you operate from now on. You wake up with purpose. You move with power. You speak with certainty. You think like a winner. You act like a champion. You expect success, and you refuse to settle for anything less. And if there's ever a moment where doubt tries to creep back in, where old habits try to pull you down, where the weak voice in your mind tries to whisper excuses, shut it down. Crush it immediately. Remind yourself who you are, what you are capable of, and why you will not stop until you've built the life you were meant to live. This is your moment. This is your time. No more excuses. No more hesitation. No more waiting for the right time. The time is now. The person who wins is the one who decides to. So make the decision. Commit to the mindset, and then go out and dominate. Because you either control your mind or your mind controls you. You either build your dream or you live with regret. You either win or you watch others do it. And you were born to win. So act like it. Think like it. Speak like it. Move like it. And when you do, nothing and no one can stop you. Now go make it happen.